Hey everyone, so today we're gonna tackle a huge one, James Clear's Atomic Habits. Seriously, if you've ever wanted to understand how tiny, almost invisible changes can lead to absolutely life-changing results, you are in the right place. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's be real for a second. We've all been there, right? It's January 1st, you're full of motivation, you're gonna learn a new language, hit the gym every day, and then what happens a few weeks later? Poof, we're right back where we started. It's so frustrating. And that feeling, that's the exact problem this book was written to solve.
So what gives? Why is making a change that actually sticks so ridiculously hard? I mean, we want to do it, we try to do it, but it feels like we're just spinning our wheels, maybe even fighting ourselves. Well, according to Atomic Habits, it's because we've been looking at the whole thing completely backwards. Here's the core problem. We are obsessed with the outcome. We focus on the big, flashy goal. I want to lose 20 pounds. I'm going to write a novel. But by staring only at the finish line, we completely ignore the path to get there. And that's exactly why we burn out and quit. And this is where the book just flips the script completely. It's the big aha moment. Forget about making massive, heroic, all-or-nothing changes. The real secret, the almost magical key, is in the power of tiny, tiny improvements. We're talking about just getting 1% better every single day. Okay, you have to check out the math on this because it is absolutely mind-blowing. If you get just 1% worse every day for a year, look at that. You basically end up at zero. But if you get just 1% better every single day, you don't just get 365% better. No, you end up almost 38 times better. That's not just growth, that's compounding. It's like financial interest, but for your life. And here's a perfect way to picture this. Think about a plane flying from LA to New York City. Now imagine the pilot adjusts the course just 3.5 degrees to the south. That's it, a tiny shift you wouldn't even feel on the plane. But that tiny course correction means you don't land in New York, you land in Washington, D.C., a completely different destination, all because of a small change at the very beginning. And look, this isn't just some nice theory. This stuff works in the real world. Take the incredible story of the British cycling team. For like 100 years, they were nobody, totally mediocre. Then this new director, Dave Brailsford, comes in with an idea he calls the aggregation of marginal gains. Basically, they started hunting for 1% improvements in everything, and I mean everything. Sure, the obvious stuff, like better bike seats, but then they got crazy with it, hiring a surgeon to teach proper hand washing to avoid illness. They even painted their truck white just to spot tiny specks of dust that could degrade bike performance. The result? They went from mediocrity to completely dominating the sport for a decade. It was unreal.
Okay, so we get it. 1% changes are the goal. But how? How do we actually do this? Well, to answer that, we need to look under the hood and understand the basic science of how our habits actually work. It's all about a simple little loop that's running in your brain on autopilot all day long.
Every single one of our habits, good or bad, follows this exact same four-step pattern. First, you've got the cue. That's the trigger. Let's say your phone buzzes on the table. That leads to step 2, the craving. You get that little urge, ooh, I wonder who messaged me, which leads to the response, the habit itself. You pick up the phone. And finally, the reward. You see the message, you get that tiny hit of social connection, and the craving is satisfied. Cue, craving, response, reward. That loop is the engine behind everything we do automatically. Now, what's brilliant is that James Clear takes this scientific loop and turns it into a super practical toolkit. He creates the 4 laws of change. Seriously, think of this next part as the owner's manual for your own brain. A step-by-step guide to building the habits you want and ditching the ones you don't. And here it is, the whole framework on one slide. It's so simple and so powerful. To build a good habit, you just follow the laws. Make the cue obvious, the craving attractive, the response easy, and the reward satisfying. And if you want to break a bad habit, you just flip it. Make it invisible, unattractive, difficult, and unsatisfying. You know, the key insight here is that you don't need to be perfect. Sometimes just tweaking one of these is enough. Want to drink more water? Make it obvious by putting a water bottle on your desk. Want to waste less time on your phone? Make it difficult by hiding your social media apps in a folder. This isn't about having superhuman willpower. It's about being smarter with your environment. All right, so we've got the practical tools, but now we're gonna go a little deeper because Atomic Habits isn't just a book of tips and tricks. It's really about something much more fundamental, shifting your focus from what you do to who you are. This quote right here is everything.
You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Think about it, winners and losers in any field, they often have the exact same goals. The difference isn't the goal, it's the system, the daily process they follow. The goal is just a moment in time, but the system is what actually gets you results, again and again. The real secret is to stop obsessing about the prize and start falling in love with the process. And this right here is the perfect example of what that looks like. It's the ultimate level up, changing your identity. Someone who says, "I'm trying to quit smoking," still sees themselves as a smoker. Their identity is wrapped up in that struggle. But someone who can say, "I am not a smoker," wow, that's a fundamental shift in who they believe they are. And that's the real endgame. Every time you do a tiny habit, you're casting a vote for the kind of person you want to be.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. This is all great, big picture stuff, but where do I even begin? How do I start right now? Well, the book has the perfect answer. It boils all of this down into one super simple, incredibly practical rule you can literally use today. It's called the 2-minute rule, and it is a game changer. The rule is simple. When you start a new habit, it has to take less than 2 minutes to do. That's it. Why? Because it completely demolishes that feeling of being overwhelmed. It removes all the friction. It's so easy, you basically can't say no. So what does this look like? Let's say your goal is to run 3 miles a day. Man, that sounds like a lot on a day you're not feeling it. But with the 2-minute rule, your new habit isn't run 3 miles. It's put on my running shoes. That's it. Or maybe read more becomes read 1 page. You see what's happening? You're creating this tiny little gateway habit that gets you off the couch.
Because let's be honest, the point isn't really to read just 1 page. The real point is to master the art of showing up. It's about becoming the kind of person who puts on their running shoes every day. That's the real win. Because once you've started, once you've shown up, continuing is so much easier. That consistency is the foundation for everything else.
So, I want to leave you with this one question. What is one tiny 1% change you can make to your environment, your desk, your kitchen, your phone, right now to make a good habit just a little bit more obvious? Because that one small adjustment, well, that could be the start of a very different destination.